Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you about propagation of Dendrobium through Keikis. Before I get into that though, I want to just share something else with you. So I've been going around a little bit and it's an exciting time because I am going around and visiting orchid shows or visiting orchid societies, and if you see me and you want to say hi, come over and say hi. I was at the Tamiami Orchid Festival, and I found out later that there were some people that wanted to come over and say hello, and they were too shy. Well, please don't be shy. Coming over, it's great. Coming over and say hello and tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like and how I can improve my videos, and I would appreciate meeting you and having some feedback. So please stop by. I'm going to be giving talks on the west coast of Florida and then on the east coast of Florida, and if you see me, say hi. All right, let's get back to propagation of Dendrobium. So I have a few Dendrobiums, and most of them I've been propagating either by divisions or through propagation of Keikis. So let's first talk about the word Keiki. Keiki is Hawaiian and it means child, and I watched some videos. I have some colleagues that say Keikis, and I watched some video by a not Hawaiian person who said, I'm going to talk with you about propagation of Keikis, and it may sound cuter, but I also took a look today at people dressed in much more Hawaiian shirts than I'm wearing, and they are from Hawaii, and each one of them says the proper pronunciation is Keiki, and it's spelled K-E-I-K-I, and in Hawaiian, Keiki means child. So that's the proper pronunciation. That's what the orchids make, and that's what I want to show you today is propagation of Keikis. I've got a few orchids that I want to share with you that I am in the process of propagating, and some that we're going to do today through Keikis. Now, Keikis are they're new orchid children that grow out of the canes. These are some Dendrobiums here. They grow out of the canes of the Dendrobium. So I'm going to actually show you, there's a big one right here that I'm going to show you today, and we're going to cut it off, see what it looks like, and show you propagation. But you can wait. Some people wait until they're bigger, and that's fine. You can do them when they're smaller. This happens to come from, so this cane actually starts over in this pot right over here, and if we take a look close up, we can see where this cane starts, and then we can follow it all the way over to where it ends over here, and you can see the keiki. Now this one is fairly large, and if you take a look at the side of it, you can see that there's a lot of roots that were coming out of it. And what I did with this keiki is I took the roots and I put them into a bark. I put them into a pot that has lava stone, small lava stone in it. So what we're going to do in a second is take it out and see what those roots look like in the lava stone. But the plant itself, the keiki itself, the child, is doing really well. So I assume that there's more roots in the pot, but we'll take a look at that in a second. What I want to show you is some smaller keikis first. And so these are, this first one, this is a variegated keiki from the Plant Propagator Junior. It was a gift. I don't even have the name of this, I'm sorry, but this is a keiki that came off of one of her plants, and she provided it to me. It's still really small, and I have this in moss, and it seems to be doing okay, but we'll see how this goes. These are a couple of keikis that are on Dendrobium Judy roots. And the plant itself isn't doing that well, and when the plant isn't doing that well, the canes, the keikis will form on the canes. So there's a couple in here. One of them looks better than the other, but I'm just hoping, and I think the other one will probably grow. And again, I've got this in sphagnum as well. So the other thing that I want to show you is a comparison of keikis and a new cane growth from another wulang that is mounted on a palm tree in my yard. So if you take a look at this close up, you can see the keiki, which is growing on the cane, that has roots spread out all over the place along that cane. And then you can also see the large shoot that's growing, the new cane that's growing next to it. You can see how different they are. And so the keiki has all the roots that are associated with it. So if I reach behind there with a clippers, I cut off the whole cane that has the, and as much as the roots as possible, that has the keiki associated with it. And now that we have that cut off, we take a look at that, and that is that's right here. So this is just a really small, this is a small keiki right here, but it'll work fine for our purposes. And what I'm going to do, and you can put these things, actually the plant that this grew off of, Wulang, also started as a keiki, where I had actually a whole cane where there was a keiki coming out of it, and I just strapped it with rubber bands to the tree. It's kind of like this, mounted on the tree, and then the roots grew out and attached to the tree, and now there's a big plant that has flowers on it, and it's doing really well. So you can do that, and that's the nice thing again about canes, is you can just tie them, the keikis that are on the canes, you can just tie them to the tree or mount them to the tree. But to put this in the pot, this is really straightforward, very simple. It's already a whole plant, and the whole idea is just establish it without rotting the remnant cane that is still associated with it. Some people will try to pry this off, and that's okay as long as you get the roots that are associated with it. But the roots on this look like they're pretty well attached to the cane. So all I'm going to do is put some sphagnum moss in a pot here, and then very simply oh, you used all of my sphagnum. I don't need it for anything else. And then it's just very simple. Just put this on top. Again, what I try, you don't need to, they're orchids. You don't need to bury the roots. It's just fine like this. And that what will happen is the roots will kind of grow off. And this is actually nice because this cane is setting up on top of the sphagnum that's going to stay very moist. And then it's lodged in the pot pretty nice. It doesn't even, I don't want to risk it. No, it is going to fall out. But it's in there pretty tight, and it won't even fall out. So it's just wedged in this pot, and it's just going to sit there, and I imagine over time it will grow some additional roots. All right, so propagation of, and Dendrobiums do this, phals. Some of the cattleyas will do this. I have my daylilies do this. Keikis, children of these plants, will form, and it's not just orchid children. It's actually, keiki refers to real children and children of, and the small animals as well. So they're childs of all different types of living organisms. Okay, so the other thing that I want to do, but they're so easy to propagate through keikis, and what I'm going to have to do is I've got a lot of Wulang that are growing, and it's a beautiful plant, very vigorous, so I got to find homes for all of my Wulang as well as all of my other orchids here. Anyway, so this is one. What I want to show you though is this one that's large, and we're going to cut this off. I'm not sure what we're going to see, so come along with me and we'll see what we can find. So I'm going to cut them off with my clippers, but before I cut any of my orchids, before I cut this Wulang, I actually, this keiki off this cane, I actually flamed my instrument here, and I'll show you how I'm doing this here. Really straightforward. Some people really like to get the instruments heated up so that they're red hot, and I don't do that, but I do heat it up every time before I make a cut, and it's sufficient. You want to kill, any kind of organisms that are on there. When most people do this, they're looking at for killing off any virus, for cross-contamination between different plants, but it's really any pathogens. You want to make sure that your instrument is very clean. And this is, I'm not going to touch the blaze itself. This is warm, but this isn't hot. So I do this and let it cool a little bit, but not too much. And as I'm waving it around, if there's pathogens in the area, sure, they're getting on it, but it's hot enough, and I think I can still use it. So let's go down here and see what we're doing. So I am going to cut this cane right here, And let's take a look at this plant. And what you can see in here, I'm going to hold it up here. So what you can see from this is that the roots, I did this, I shoved the roots down in this lava stone, so it's already set up, so I could just do this. I mean, all you really need to do is sit this on, you know, I'm going to just do that. That's all you need to do. You know, as minimal disruption as possible is always best. So what I'm going to do, and I don't have things ready because I didn't think I was going to do this. I was actually thinking I was going to pour the lava stone out and then repot this in something else. But I've got just a little metal clip, and I'll shove this down into the lava stone, and we'll just have this plant growing with this. So wasn't what I'm planning, but that's the thing is when you do this stuff, it's okay to change, you know, change direction as long as you know, maybe here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move a little bit. I'm going to move the lava stone a little bit out of the way, not much, but I'm just moving the lava stone a little bit out of the way so there's maybe just a little bit of a channel where I can put this thing. And what I can, all right, so I'm looking down. I'm going to have to get this on another video, but as I'm looking down at the base of this keiki right under here, I can see there's a new root growing down. So this is, I mean, this is a keiki. This is an established plant. So as I tie this down, I'm going to tie this down, and also, that's the other thing, this is also top heavy. So I'm going to put a stake in here. Stake, maybe that's all I need to do. Change my mind again. That's what you do. I'm just going to stake this up and have this sitting like this in this pot. The other thing that you got to do, that you got to be careful about, that you have to do, is make sure that these are labeled. So I have, you know, there's a label here. I did not put my label in here. So these two keikis, I have to label as Dendrobium Wulang, and we'll go from there. All right, so that's all I'm going to do. You know, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to try to stake these things and show you the final product. So hold on just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, and we are back. So I just wanted to take a break. Again, I deviated from the original plan a little bit. So this is still in the same pot that I shoved the roots over into. I kind of bent them around a little bit, but there's more roots coming out of the base of this keiki. And then what I did is I put a very small thin metal stake down in there. And I wanted to use metal because this is lava stone. So if I'd have used, you know, bamboo or something else soft, I'm not sure if it would have gone all the way through the lava stone. But as you can tell, this is staked up pretty good. It's not going anywhere. And then I'm going to put it back up on the shelf where the parent is, right over here. And I would just assume it's going to do well. I did want to show you one other thing, and I wanted to show you, sometimes you just wait for the keikis to form naturally, and that's fine, but you can also induce them to form. I don't recommend using keiki paste that's sold to make keikis form on Phalaenopsis. Keiki paste contains benzyladenine or benzoylaminopurine, which is a growth regulator that induces shoot formation. That's not what I recommend, but that's what a lot of people do, and it works okay from what I've seen. I've never done it myself. But what I want to do is cut. This is my Wulang plant is most of what you're seeing behind you here. And what I want to do is just cut off a cane. Now what happens when you cut off the cane, I guess, and I hate to personify the plant, but the plant knows that there's limited life when you cut the cane off. So this usually induces either flower formation or keiki formation, or both. And actually, the reality of it is that this keiki right here there was a flower spike that came out first right here, and then the keiki formed afterwards. And it's a long, I mean, again, this cane that I cut off is a long cane. So what I want to do, and I'll show you, I had one that I had my eye on. No, that wasn't it. Where is it? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, so I'm going to reach back here and cut this off. This is a really heavy plant, and I've got this thing up here, and I actually had to put a support wood piece up here because the canes were growing so big and so heavy and falling over, and before I did that, the plant fell off of the stand a few times. It just gets big and it grows towards the light, which is that way, and it falls over. So this is a nice flat. I may cut this end off of it because it's down, but I'm just going to lay this somewhere behind my shed, and what's going to happen on this is it'll either form additional flowers or additional keikis. I'm doing this in part to trim the plant because it was heavy for falling over, but I'm also, if I get additional keikis, that's fine too. All right, and with that, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video on propagation of Dendrobium through keikis. If you enjoyed my video and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.